Occupational therapy. It's actually been named the second fastest growing career in Australia, I can't believe that, and the fourth in the United States. So to tell us more about occupational therapy at Bond and to show us how to set up a safe and ergonomic study space, we have Assistant Professor Michelle Fair joining us with student Amy outside. So I think we should go and find them. Now, I'm actually personally really interested in finding out about these ergonomic desk spaces because in this sort of new time that we live in, we are working from home, we're working from cafes, we're working from everywhere. So I actually would love to take some of these tips into my personal life as well. Hey guys, I'm going to rush over to you. I really have been interested to find out a little bit about this desk setup. But first, I should ask you, what exactly is occupational therapy?
Well, as a profession, we work in a client-centred manner, and we work with people to enable them to participate in their activities of daily living. So things that they want to be able to do, ought to be able to do, or need to be able to do. So it could be as simple as being able to dress yourself or brush your teeth, or it might be being able to access the community, or perhaps actually attending the workplace after injury.
Yeah, of course, I feel so far away from you, but of course social distancing, that's why. So I do have to ask, obviously it sounds amazing what you do for people. It sounds like really philanthropic, but it is a career and it is a way to make money. So what careers could you go into?
So OT, we work with people across the lifespan, so from birth to death. So we can be found in a lot of different places. The more familiar places people might be aware of are hospitals and community centres, aged care facilities and schools working with children. But there's a lot of OTs working in private practice, so I also work in private practice when I'm not here at Bond. And we also have OTs working in government, in policy making, research, academia, so quite a variety.
Well, I would love to find out about this ergonomic setup. I'm awful. When I'm texting, I'm leaned over, I'm awful. So tell me, start from the bottom.
So I guess the most important thing to know is that there's no one setup for everybody. Okay. Because we're all individuals and we're different sizes and we have different needs. So as we always, as OTs, look at the person. So I'm going to be looking at what Amy's needs are today. Okay. And the next thing we take into consideration is what are we actually doing? So we're looking at the occupation, because we're occupational therapists, that's what we do. So her occupation today would be studying using the computer. And then we're going to look at the environment. So once we start looking at all of those three together, we have to try and meld them to get the best outcome for that one person. So with Amy today, we've just got her on a standard chair because most people at home won't have a nice ergonomic chair like this one. Ideally, if they did, that'd be great because we've got a fair bit of adjustment. We can raise it, we can tilt, we can do a lot of different things. But what we want to do is get people using what they've got at home. I know a lot of students spend time on their couches, in bed, with their laptops, not ideal. So I've got a couple of tricks, I guess, to look for when we're setting up our own workstation. So we want to keep our ankles and knees at around 90 degrees. So you can see the chair that Amy's on is actually pretty good for her height. For me, it wouldn't work, but for Amy, it's pretty good. With our hips, we really want the angle to open up to about 100 to 120. So this is quite vertical. So we wouldn't want Amy sitting here for long periods of time. Our bodies are designed to move. So if we don't have the adjustable sit-stand desk, which most people wouldn't at home, we really want people to move about. So you might want to swap from here to the kitchen bench and work on there for a while.
That's a good tip.
Or get your ironing board out if you have one, and raise it up and down, give yourself those options at home. So if you are sitting somewhere like this, laptops, as we can see, are a bit of a problem. If we're just using the laptop, we tend to lean forward, we've got the chin poke going, our neck's down like Amy's showing us. So a couple of tricks to make it so much better for us to maintain the natural curves of our spine is to have your separate keyboard, your separate mouse, and then start to raise your laptop so that we can get the monitor up. So we want the monitor to be approximately eye level to the user, and that will keep our neck in a nice neutral position. So if we look at Amy now as if she was...
You look great, Amy. Anyways, we will have to actually move on. I have so many more questions, but we'll actually have to direct people over to our Ask an Expert because then they can ask you any more questions.